Okay, welcome back. So we're going through the next example. So we've got find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals minus 5x and has an x-intercept of 1. So underline the word perpendicular and write find gradient. So we're going to start with the line they gave us and we're going to find the gradient of that line. So you can see the gradient's going to be minus 5 for that line. The next thing, we're finding the gradient of the perpendicular line. So remember, we have to have this written as a fraction. So 5 is 5 over 1. We're going to change the sign and we're going to flip this over. So it becomes positive 1/5 or 1/5 for the gradient. They also gave us an x-intercept of 1 up here. An x-intercept is when you have y equals 0. So we have a y coordinate of 0 and we have an x coordinate of 1. That forms the point 1, 0. So we're going to take both of these things, the gradient and the point, and put them into the equation of the line formula. Sub them in, keep going and simplify, and that's your answer. Alright, on the next one, we're finding the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals 3x minus 1 and passes through the x-axis at 4. So again, we're going to find the gradient first. So write the equation down. Its gradient will be 3. To find the gradient of the perpendicular line, we have to have this as a fraction. So we're going to write it as positive 3 over 1. Change the sign, turn this upside down. The gradient of the perpendicular line is minus 1/3. The x-axis at 4. If something cuts through the x-axis at 4, they're telling you that the x-intercept is 4. So again, we're going to have an x value on the point of 4, and we know that the x-intercept is when y is 0, so the point will have a y value of 0. So we're going to take the gradient here and the point and put them both into the equation of the line formula. We'll sub them both in, and that's the answer you'll get. Over on this next one for C, so we're finding the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals x minus 6 over 3 and passes through 1 minus 6. So when we look at this, remember this denominator has to be split and given to all the terms on the top. So this is going to be x over 3 minus in the middle and 6 over 3. If we slide this out, remembering we have a 1 on the top here, we have 1/3 at the front of x. Simplify that on your calculator and you'll get a 2. So if you're looking at it now, the gradient is going to be 1/3. The gradient of the perpendicular line, change its sign, turn it upside down, and you get minus 3. The other point they gave you, straightforward, 1 minus 6. So we're going to take that gradient and that point and put them into the equation of the line formula. Put them in. Don't forget that double negative is a positive. Expand your brackets and continue to your answer. I do think it's worthwhile putting this line in. Some of you are probably going to skip it, but that's where you make silly mistakes. So we need to show we're minusing the 6, and then when you do that on your calculator, you won't muck it up. Okay, the next one. So again, we have equation of the line that's perpendicular to x plus y minus 6 equals 0 and passes through minus 4, 2. So we start with this line, rearrange it so that it's in y equals mx plus c form, and you'll notice that the gradient in front of the x there is minus 1. The gradient of the perpendicular line, change its sign, turn it upside down, and the gradient is 1. Our point was minus 4, 2, so we're going to put the gradient of the point into here. Keep going as you normally would to the final answer. We're coming back with a harder question in a minute, and that will be the last one.